So part 2. Martyn is just over there in the distance, and we're back to the field where I got a hammered coin on Thursday, and Martyn got a hammered coin just up here last week, and on the same day I got one over about where Martyn is just now. So 3 hammered coins from this top section of the field. This is where I got my one on Thursday. So over behind Martyn is an old medieval fort that dates back to, it was founded just after the Norman conquest, so sometime around the very late 1100s to the very early 1200s. And this bit is a bit of set aside, so there's an ancient trackway that runs along that tree line. So we're assuming that's probably why the coins are here in the first place. Let's see how we get on. So first, a good signal in this new field. So do you see what I see? Look at that. Nothing better when you crack the soil open. See that right there in the middle? That looks like a coin to me. Yep, it's a coin. Ta-da! Oh, looks like an old coin. Right, we'll give this a wee gentle clean up. So this is the reverse. You can just make out the head of Britannia seated with an arm there, which would be holding the trident. Pretty corroded, but the other side, it's about as good as you probably get a George coin in Scotland, made of copper. So they don't do very well, but you can just make out Georgius 11 Rex. That'll probably get better as it dries out and rubs. There you go, it's getting better all the time. I think it's a halfpenny. So George the Second, so he was on the throne from, I think it was the sort of late 1720s until about 1760. And George II was on the throne when the Battle of Culloden against Bonnie Prince Charlie, his son, the Duke of Cumberland, the Butcher, as he's known in Scotland, was sent north to defeat Bonnie Prince Charlie at the Battle of Culloden near Inverness in 1746. So that is a cracking find. So just popped over to show Martyn my coin, and he's produced a nice little find as well that's actually probably contemporary with the coin. He's got a little pistol shot from a little Scottish pistol that was worn on the holster called a dag, pronounced D-A-A-G, and it was a little pistol that was used in Scotland through the 16, 17 and 1800s. So contemporary with the Jacobites, both finds. So that's excellent. Another little find for me. It was sitting right on the surface. It's a little copper stud. It would have been mounted in leather. You can see there's still some leather attached to the outside edge, but that could be any time really through the 1700s, 1800s. Another coin for Martyn. He has got what looks like a cartwheel penny. It's pretty worn, made of copper, but it's the odd letter around the outside edge. But this would be George III, Georgius III, and this would date to 1797 because they were only made for 1 year. I don't know why, but this signal didn't come through very well, but here it is here. It is a lovely little button, but what's good about it is that is a very old button. That is probably Georgian, could even be a little bit earlier than that, so that could be dating back to the 1700s. Beautiful. So that's where the button was, just checking around the hole, and right there, similar sound. Wonder if it's going to be another button. We're out the hole, similar depth to the button, 6 inches or so. That there, Nope, it's a stone. Oh ho! We've got a coin. It looks like a hammered coin. Oh, it could be an old Scottish hammered coin. Is that a lion? Oh, we need to give this a clean up. Right, give me a minute. So here we go, folks. I've given it a clean up. It's a silver coin. It's hammered. We've got NOST, top left, Nost. And we've got what looks like port or portus on this side. I'm sure they are both words that are found on Queen Elizabeth I's coins. But it doesn't look like anything I've seen before. I thought it was maybe an old Scottish coin, because look at this side. I thought it was going to be a rampant lion in a shield. And we can make out a date at the top, 1590, we're not sure, 98 I think we're going to go with. 1598, a shield, is it even 2 lions? It's not 3 lions. So, where's it from? Could it be Scottish? 1598 would make James VI the King of Scotland. It's definitely not Queen Elizabeth I. Could it be European? Could it be a coin from Europe? Let me know if you've got an idea. That would be much appreciated. But at the end of the day, it's a hammered coin. And it looks like it dates to 1595, 93 or 98. Another good signal. That's us out the hole. What delights await. There she blows, silver coin. Looks like a milled silver coin. Is it going to be George V? Doesn't look like George V. What's going on here? Right, we'll give that a clean up with a wee bit of water. So it's had a little wish wash. And for those in North America, you probably have a better idea what this is than me. Is it solid silver, or did you change your silver content of your coins? 1959. I've had a few American coins out the fields over the years. I've had Indian pennies and things like that, going way back to the pre-1900s, but I've not, that I remember, had a 5 cents before. 5 cents United States of America. It's been rattling about in the soil for a while. But 1959. National service was ended in the UK in 1960. We always thought that this shooting range went out of use in the very, very late 1940s, maybe around about 1949. But maybe with national service, this shooting range continued until 1960, and possibly there were a few Americans here in 1959. Maybe a farm worker went on holiday and dropped it when he came back. We'll never know, but it's a bit unusual. It was a bit of an iffy signal, so I didn't film it, but it is the end of a spoon. Maybe the soldiers having a wee rice pudding chucked his spoon away afterwards. So Martyn shouts me over and he says he's got an amazing find. I don't believe a word of it, obviously, and he wasn't lying. Look at that. We don't know what it is yet because it's still in the ground, but look at that. That, folks, is a silver hammered coin, and it is massive. It is absolutely huge. It's a belter. So we're going to need to get Marty, once he stops shaking, to have a proper look at it. So, ladies and gentlemen, look at that. Look at the size of it. it is absolutely huge. And it's heavy. That is a silver coin. X11 means it's a 12 pence, which is a shilling. And it is Charles the First, I think. We've got Caro, which would be Carolus in Latin, which means Charles the First. And it would say on the outside edge, it would have been even bigger than it is because it's been clipped round the edges. They used to steal silver off the coins by trimming little slithers of silver off the edges. So it would have been even bigger when it was originally made, but it would have said something along the lines of Carolus, France, England, Scotland, et, which means and then it would say HIB, which you can just see there, which is Hibernia or Ireland, and Rex, which is the reign of. So Charles the First, King of England, Scotland, France and Ireland. Brilliant. The other side, there's a shield, and it's got the crossed shield with 4 quarters. We've got Scotland in the top right, which is a rampant lion. We've got Ireland in the bottom left, which is a harp, and then top right and bottom left. Top left and bottom right, we've got the 3 lions of England and the 3 fleurs de lis, or the flowers of the lily, of France. So that is going to date to about 1620 to 1649. Charles eventually had his head chopped off by Oliver Cromwell when he lost what they now call the War of the Four Nations, I think is what they call it, but it used to be called the English Civil War. Absolutely brilliant. That is a find of a lifetime, Martyn. Well done. Right, this is getting ridiculous. Marty's just called me over again. Look at that. He's about 30 feet away from his last coin. Has he got a hoard? A scattered hoard? Oh, I don't believe it. Jammy, sod. He's not getting on my fields anymore, that's it. Right, we'll need to give it a clean up and see what we've got. So we've given it a clean up with a bit of water. It's quite worn. However, it's a different monarch. Now this one is facing to the right. The V1 means it's a sixpence, so it's a silver sixpence. And we can just make out around the edge B. So we've got A, B, O, a V and an S. So it's Jacobus, which is James the First of England, who was James the Sixth of Scotland. And around the edge it would say Mag, England, Scotland, France, et Hibernia, Hibs, Rex, the reign of. So James the Sixth, King of England, Scotland, France and Ireland. And as I say, it's a sixpence, silver sixpence. And on the back it's actually better. You can just make out a bit of a date at the top, which is 16 something. So James the Sixth became King of England in 1603. So he was known as James the Sixth of Scotland because he took over from his mother, Mary Queen of Scots, when she was forced to abdicate. And he ruled until his son, Charles the First, took over in 1625. Could we have a hoard? We're about 30 feet away from where Martyn got his 12 pence, or shilling, and we find a sixpence. Yes, it's slightly earlier, but it's probably going to be within 20 or 30 years, and at the end of the day it's a silver coin, so they could stay in circulation even though James wasn't on the throne anymore. Whew. Let's see if Martyn can pull out another one or two. So I've told Martyn that he should retire from metal detecting because it will never get better than this. He's got two beautiful coins, a sixpence on the right of James VI, or James I of England, the son of Mary Queen of Scots, and then on the left hand side a 12 pence or a shilling of Charles I, who was the son of James VI and the grandson of Mary Queen of Scots. Absolutely stunning coins. So the shilling on the left hand side probably dates to sometime between, well, it does date to between 1625 and 1649, and the coin on the right hand side we can just make out a 1 and a 6 at the top, so it dates to sometime after 1603, and it dates to sometime before 1625. So could there be a hoard still to be discovered in this field? But what a day for Martyn, absolutely over the moon. My mentoring has paid off and he's getting to grips with his new metal detector, which is famed for finding hammered coins. What a day.